Most delicious German desserts Part 1 by Angel Nightingale. Most German desserts are Christmas classics you might see at markets and in the grocery stores as holiday specials. But there is so much more to them. Yes, there are some great festive favorites here that are warm, spiced, and perfect for the winter months. But there are also fun treats like ice cream spaghetti, quark cheesecake, and a fruity trifle that would make a great barbecue dessert. I've rounded up 25 gorgeous German desserts that are perfect any time of the year. Enjoy! Number 1. German plum dumplings, Zwetschgennudeln. These little dumplings are such a cute idea for an after-dinner treat. Quark is a soft cheese that can be smooth or more like cottage cheese. It provides a great mild flavor and excellent texture for the dough. The slightly tart plums become tender while cooking and are a pleasant change to the normal apple-cinnamon combination. Just be sure your water isn't boiling, or it can ruin the dough. German plum dumplings, Zwetschgennudeln prep. 80 minutes. Cook. 24 minutes. Total. 104 minutes. Servings. 3 to 6 servings. Ingredients: 1 cup quark or yogurt cheese, 10 tablespoons butter, divided, 3 tablespoons sugar, 1 teaspoon lemon zest, 1 large egg, 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon baking powder, dash kosher salt, 12 plums, 12 sugar cubes, 4 to 5 pieces zwieback, crushed, or 1 cup breadcrumbs, half a cup cinnamon sugar or confectioner's sugar. Steps to make it: gather the ingredients, pour off any liquids from quark or yogurt cheese and pat dry. Mix quark, 7 tablespoons softened butter, and sugar until smooth. Stir in egg and lemon zest. Stir or sift together flour, baking powder, and salt. Mix into batter to form a smooth, soft dough. Refrigerate dough for about 1 hour. Heat a large pan of salted water to boiling and reduce heat to simmer. Wash plums and slit them halfway. Down seam is good to remove pit. Replace pit with a sugar cube and press cut sides together. Using about 1/12 of the dough, form a ball with floured hands, then press ball flat on a well-floured surface. Wrap dough around a plum and pinch to seal well. Simmer plums in hot water until done, 15 to 25 minutes, depending on size. The only way to tell if they are done is to test one, or through experience. The water should not boil because that makes dough fall apart. While they are simmering, melt remaining butter in a pan and stir in zwieback, or bread crumbs. Heat and toast crumbs. Remove dumplings and drain well. Roll in buttered crumbs and serve with cinnamon and sugar or sprinkled with powdered sugar. You could also serve them with vanilla sauce or whipped cream. Tip: these are best fresh, but can be placed on a cookie sheet and kept warm for a while before serving. Nutrition facts per serving: 617 calories, 22 g. Fat, 102 g. Carbs, 11 g. Protein. A fun dessert or main dish for a weekday, plum dumplings, Zwetschgennudeln, are a classic German Mehlspeise for the fall. The tart plums contrast nicely with the quark dumpling and cinnamon sugar. If you are serving these for a meal, 3 or 4 per person are probably enough. If these are for dessert, 1 or 2 per person are fine. Number 2. Kokosmakronen, German coconut macaroons. Kokosmakronen are very typical German Christmas cookies. Traditional Kokosmakronen are NT using lemon peel in the dough, but it adds a fresh note to the coconut cookies. You can decorate the cookies with icing chocolate. I use a whole milk chocolate of a good quality. The method of heating the egg white mixture to 70 degrees Celsius will give the cookies more stand during baking and keep their shape much better. If you don't have a suited icing bag, you could spoon the dough on the wafers. Ready in 55 minutes yields 30. Cookies ingredients. Units, US 120. G coconut flakes 250. G sugar 4. Egg whites 30. G flour. Baking wafers 4 centimeters in diameter. 1 2. Lemon zest of grated. Chocolate frosting for decoration, optional. Directions. Prepare a water bath. The water should cook lightly. In a bowl, mix egg whites and sugar. Place the bowl in the hot water bath and mix to dissolve sugar. Add coconut flakes and mix. Heat the coconut mixture to a temperature of 70 C. Use a cooking thermometer to control temperature, stirring frequently. Remove from water bath, add flour and mix again. If you like, you can now add the grated lemon peel to this mixture. Let cool to room temperature again. Preheat oven to 160 degrees Celsius. Place baking wafers on baking tray. Use an icing bag with large opening to place little dough dollops on the wafers. Leave a little rim, because while baking the cookies will flatten a bit. Bake for 10 minutes. Then open the oven a little and bake for another 5 minutes. The cookies should remain light in color and just a bit browned. If you like, you can decorate the kokosmakronen with icing chocolate. Note on chocolate decoration. Preheat 2/3 of the chocolate in a water bath until fluid. Take out of water bath and add the rest of chocolate. Heat it again, but just until chocolate is dissolved. Dip kokosmakronen into the chocolate or drizzle over the cookies by using an icing bag. Note on wafers. If you don't have wafers at hand, you could spoon the dough directly on baking paper. But it might be tricky to remove the cookies from it later, because they stick to it. Number 3. Best authentic German cheesecake, Käsekuchen. This German Käsekuchen, German cheesecake, is made with quark cheese, homemade or store-bought, and has a hint of lemon. One bite and you'll swear you're in Germany. Can I make German quark at home? Yes, you can. Here are my step-by-step homemade quark directions. I've my own quark loads of times. It's pretty easy, but you do need to allow 2 to 3 days for it to set and drain, and it can be kinda messy. So you definitely need to plan ahead, and make sure you have the tools you need and room in your fridge. What I do now is keep a couple tubs of Wonder in my fridge so I can bake at a moment's notice. Are there any substitutes for quark? I always recommend using Greek yogurt or pureed cottage cheese. I've used both. That said, if you use real quark, you'll get better results, so I recommend making or buying authentic European quark cheese if at all possible. Tell me about the crust for this quark cheesecake. Put the graham cracks back in the cupboard. Unlike most cheesecakes in the US, most authentic German cheesecake recipes use a short crust instead of graham cracker or cookie crumbs. The crust in this recipe is so tender, lightly sweet, and has a slight lemon flavor due to the lemon zest. It's delicious. Ingredients: flour, baking powder, salt, vanilla sugar. Click here to make your own vanilla sugar. Lemon zest, butter at cold and room temperature, egg plus egg yolks, butter, heavy whipping cream, quark or alternative, such as strained Greek yogurt or pureed cottage cheese, cornstarch, egg whites beaten to stiff peaks. Equipment: mixing bowls, electric mixer, hand mixer or stand mixer, spatula, scale or measuring cups, spoons, flour sifter, zester or microplane, whisk, springform pan, and parchment paper or cooking spray for sides of the pan. Aluminum foil to cover the cheesecake if it starts to get too brown while baking. Plastic wrap to cover the cheesecake before serving. How to make German cheesecake with quark. This recipe has 5 steps. Make the crust. Make the filling. Bake the cheesecake. Chill the cheesecake. Eat cheesecake. To make the crust, sift the flour into a large mixing bowl. Add the baking powder, salt, lemon zest, sugar, and vanilla sugar, or vanilla extract. Whisk to combine. Then cut the cold butter into small pieces and add it to the flour. Use your fingers to work the butter into the flour until it resembles crumbs. Add the beaten egg and form into a dough. Wrap dough in plastic and chill in the fridge for an hour. After the dough has chilled, form it into a disc. Press down on it a few times with your rolling pin to flatten it out, and then gently roll it out on a floured surface. If the dough is very crumbly and hard to work with, form it back into a disc and gently roll it out again. Just don't overwork the dough. Transfer dough to a prepared 9-inch springform pan. See photos above for how to fold and transfer the dough to the springform pan. Use your fingers to press the dough so it evenly covers the bottom and goes halfway up the sides of the pie. Store in the fridge while you make the filling. Make the filling. First, beat the egg yolks, sugar, and vanilla sugar on a medium to high speed until pale. Add softened butter and continue beating until well combined. Add the heavy cream and beat again. Add the quark, or alternative, and beat one more time until everything is thoroughly combined. In a separate bowl, beat egg whites and salt until stiff peaks form. Fold egg whites and sifted cornstarch into cheesecake batter. Pour cheesecake batter into the springform pan. Bake in a preheated oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius for 60 to 70 minutes. The cheesecake is done when the edges are browned and a toothpick comes out clean. I always check my cheesecake at 50 minutes and continue baking in 5 or 10-minute increments. The center of the cheesecake will be a bit wiggly and it will fall as it cools. That's normal. Remove cake from oven and let cool for a few minutes on a wire rack. Carefully run a knife around the edge to prevent the crust from sticking to the springform pan. Let the cheesecake cool on the counter for an hour and then several hours in the fridge. It's best to make this cheesecake the day before you plan to serve it. Serve with freshly whipped cream and fresh fruit, optional. Enjoy!